Uh, Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed last night's Hanukkah music. And now we light for the seventh night of Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim ahem b'zman hazeh. From The Power of Light, Isaac Bashevis Singer. During World War II, after the Nazis had bombed and burned the Warsaw Ghetto, a boy and girl were hiding in one of the rooms. David, 14 years old, and Rebecca, 13. It was winter and bitter cold outside. For weeks, Rebecca had not left the dark, partially collapsed cellar that was their hiding place, but every few days, David would go out and search for food. All the stores had been destroyed in the bombing, and David sometimes found stale bread, cans of food, or whatever else had been buried. Making his way through the ruins was dangerous. Sometimes bricks and mortar would fall, and he could easily lose his way. But if he and Rebecca did not want to die from hunger, he had to take the risk. That day was one of the coldest. Rebecca sat on the ground wrapped in all of the garments that she possessed, and still she could not get warm. David had left many hours before, and Rebecca, listening in the darkness for the sound of his return, knew that if he did not come back, nothing remained for her. Suddenly, she heard heavy breathing and the sound of bundle being dropped. David had made his way home. Rebecca could not help but cry. "Rebecca," David said. In the darkness, they embraced and kissed, and David said, "I found a treasure, Rebecca." "What kind of treasure?" "Cheese, potatoes, dried mushroom, a package of candy, and I have another surprise for you." "What surprise?" "Later," said David. Both were too hungry for a long talk. Ravenously, they ate the frozen potatoes, the mushrooms, and part of the cheese. They each had one piece of candy. Then Rebecca said, "What is it now, day or night?" "I think that night has fallen," David replied. He had a wristwatch and kept track of day and night, and also of the days and months and weeks. After a while, Rebecca asked again, "What's the surprise?" "Today is the first day of Hanukkah, and I found a candle and some matches." "Tonight? Hanukkah tonight?" "Yes." "Oh my God!" "I'm going to bless the candles," David said, and he lit a match, and there was light. Rebecca and David stared at their hiding place, bricks, pipes, and the uneven ground. He lit the candle. Rebecca blinked her eyes. For the first time in weeks, she really saw David. His hair was matted and his face streaked with dirt, but his eyes shone with joy. In spite of starvation and persecution, David had grown taller, and he seemed older than his age and more manly. Young as they both were, they had decided to marry if they could manage to escape from war-ridden Warsaw. As a token of their engagement, David had given Rebecca a shiny groschen he found in his pocket on the day when the building where both of them lived had been bombed. Now David, with the candle lit in front of him, pronounced the benedictions over the light, and Rebecca said, "Amen." They had both lost their family, and they had good reason to be angry with God for sending them so many afflictions. But the light of the candle brought peace into their souls. That glimmer of light, surrounded by so many shadows, seemed to say without words, evil has not taken complete dominion. A spark of hope is always left. Happy Hanukkah, Hag Sameach. I'll see you tomorrow for the final night of Hanukkah lights.